this commission, whatever we call ourselves, I have not participated in any discussions about acquiring land other than for preservation or whatever you call it. So the Breed property that you mentioned, that was purchased a while ago. That's totally preservation of that property. Legacy Woods was before my time. Again, it's not a golf course anymore. We're reforesting the property, and so that's all conservation. We talked about the land on Fairmont Road. That's about protecting the water. Some people talk about the various headwaters that we have in the county. That's what we're doing. So since I've been on here, we have not acquired property for recreation other than giving it some accessibility and a trail. The Gallo property, another property we bought. Again, it has nothing, it attaches to Westwoods, that's why we bought it, but it doesn't have any trails or parking or anything associated with it to date. So we are 100% focused on preservation of land, but at the same time, the public, the taxpayers, deserve access to property. It's not to be, just like this Breed property, it's sitting down there. You can't even, if somebody were on the property, we'd have no ability to go find out what they were doing on it because there's no access. Some people said we spend too much time on activities. Well, when I first got here, everybody told me transparency was the biggest issue. Well, in being transparent, what's important to you may not be important to the other person. So we have been reporting, as John talks about the activities, number of people attending. We're not spending any more than a few minutes on it, but we are covering the fact that we do hold activities. People are utilizing the parks. We just went through a pandemic, and so people have taken to our parks like never before. Land acquisition fund. Okay, so here's how this whole thing started with. First of all, there was an argument between Judge Gradell and the county auditor. We were placed in the middle of that argument because however the state decided to set up metro parks, or whatever you call us, we report to the probate judge. Don't know why they did it that way, but those are the wheels of government. So we were in a conflict. We could not get our bills paid. Even some of the simplest things. I think Howard had a deal where it was like, we got canceled at Walmart because we wouldn't pay like a $5, what was it, $50? $50. The county auditor wouldn't pay. Okay? It's ridiculous. I'm a professional. These people are professionals. We deserve to be treated as professionals. I don't take this job lightly. I take it very seriously. So, but the games that were being played, we decided to hire an outside, so again, we researched it. We hired an outside person to come in and take the place of the county auditor. Okay? Guy interviewed well, but he made some mistakes. Okay? And he had difficulty accepting the fact that he made mistakes. We replaced him. When we replaced him, we then said to you all that we were uncomfortable with public accounting. We didn't understand it. We didn't know enough about it to be able to sit here and tell you, hey, we're on the right track, yes or no. We hired Frank from
Frank Sponsic.
Yeah, Frank from Mark, okay, big accounting firm. Tons of public experience. He went through our entire financial operation, and we weren't accounting for things correctly, okay? We were doing payroll wrong. We had a number of other issues that we weren't doing correctly. And so we again did a long interview process and hired Jennifer Pay. When we hired Jennifer, we were very frank with her and said, look, we don't know public accounting. So as you enter this job, we want you to educate us. So every single meeting that we've had since Jennifer's been here, she has been holding a tutorial on public accounting. She actually addresses it as a tutorial. She's taught a college class on public accounting and how things work. During those times, she has represented the tax commission as well as the park. So, give you an example. We talked about the land acquisition fund. Again, Jennifer said the tax commission's job is to make sure that the money that we're spending is needed. So you have to demonstrate need, okay? So what we heard when Mike was 2 years ago was that we didn't know how much money we had, we didn't know where we were spending our money, and a lot of other accusations, okay? So we said we want to demonstrate to this tax commission the need that we have, okay? So we asked the question, can we set up a land acquisition fund? Jennifer said, according to the Attorney General on these types of deals, there is no provision for a metro park to have that. Conversely, the state auditor does allow for a metro park to have a land acquisition fund. Jennifer's further research found 2 counties in Ohio that have, their metro parks have land acquisition funds. So when you report, I don't know who's here from the newspapers, but when you report, you've got to stop reporting everything that comes out of one side's mouth because it's not accurate. So here's what the county prosecutor said. Oh, that's an illegal fund. Well, no, it isn't. It's a conflict. Okay, the Attorney General says it can't be done, but the auditor does. Now, who wins that argument? You take it to the judiciary. That's how it works. So in our case, back to Judge Gradell had to take Walter to court to win his case. He did. Okay, that's how it worked. There's no shenanigans going on here. I wouldn't put up with it. None of these people would serve if they thought they were doing something illegal. It's absurd. So when the commission talks to us and say, my 5th grader could do this or that, that's demeaning. Any of you that have had a job, how long would you put up with somebody talking to you like you were the village idiot? They're not going to talk to me that way. There's no way that's going to happen. So we're not putting up with these antics. They just keep bringing up stuff that, again, they want to create a controversy. What you need to do when you report is go back to Jennifer and ask her to explain. Every time she's up here talking, she's explaining both sides of an argument. Both sides. Another example, we've been approving, since I've been here, we've been approving expenses that already went out the door. She said it makes absolutely no sense. If we voted a majority to decline an expense that's already been paid, good luck getting that back. You know, that's not going to happen. So she changed all that. The commission then, Walter said at the commission meeting, why don't you come back to the county and under the purview of the state auditor? Here was Walter's brand new to his job, okay? And so he's going to be a tough egg, okay? That's his claim to fame. He's a difficult person. He likes to be controversial. But guess what? He and the county commissioners are in a lawsuit right now against each other over maintenance workers being able to get into the building, the new county building. So the commissioners are suing Walter. Doesn't mean Walter's wrong, doesn't mean the commissioners are right, but they're gonna solve it through the judiciary. That's how it works. So when you report on these conflicts, you need to get a little more in depth as to why. And Jennifer is totally forthcoming. She has represented the tax commission perfectly. They have a responsibility. We recognize that. So everything we've been doing